All right, shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutation unto the hopeful elect, the 1/3 of Yasha Allah, upholding the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability. Peace and salutation. This is the brother Bakwasha. And I'm going to play this clip found here on Facebook. It says whites, and I believe it should say cannot stand to see black people, Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, people being joyful in the mind. It bothers them. It says all they want us to do is entertain them. That's why they like us in sports. And so part of the reason why these Edomites are having so much toil and trouble, okay, is because prophecy is being fulfilled, okay? And America's not going to be made great again, okay? America's going to be destroyed in accordance with prophecy by Yahweh, by Shemiah Shai, okay? By 200 million thermonuclear ICBM missiles, okay? And these so-called white people are feeling it. You know, there was years and years of Karens and, you know, the protest and, you know, people, shooting Jake in the middle of the street and hanging him and lynching him. All of that was okay. Okay. But the thing that they do not like to see, okay, is Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans returning to their power, because that in essence really is our joy. Okay. There's no joy in, paying taxes. There's no joy in going to work. There's no joy in having your family destroyed in front of you. There's no joy being in captivity. Okay. But there is a joy in Yahweh by Shemiah Shai. And scripture says, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And she's going to say that is that what this really reminds her of is joy is a sense of freedom that they cannot capitalize on, that they cannot manipulate, that they cannot commercialize. You see, when these advertisements and, nothing against, brothers wearing, whatever sneakers they want, but that's an influence that now controls your mind and your spirit. And as long as they feel that they're on top and we're on the bottom, then they're okay with that scenario. But at any given glimpse, Michael Jackson, Prince, Bill Cosby, any quote unquote influence that's outside of their realm or their control, okay, it bothers them. That's the reason why scripture says their sleep is taken away unless they've done evil, because they're fully set in their heart to do evil. So those things that are evil come from Edomites, so-called white people. Okay. And here's another quick precept I'll bring out, and then we'll play this video. This is Psalms 73, verse 18. It says, surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou castest them down into destruction. Those slippery places is, this place was not set up forever. Babylon, aka America, is a temporal kingdom. And that temporal kingdom is about to see its final judgment. Okay. That judgment has been written aforetime. Okay. As scripture says, Yahweh by Shemiah Shai has declared the end from the beginning. Okay. You so-called white people were never set up to rule forever. Okay. And so these are the rumblings, okay, of you being taken out of the way. All right. Another quick precept. This is Lamentation chapter 4, verse 21. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked. That's what's happening. You're being exposed across the globe, especially here in Babylon, aka America, for the thief, for the robber, for the murderer, for the destroyer, for the polluter, okay, for the idolater, okay, for the blasphemer, okay. All of these things came from you. So whatever hate you have towards so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, Israelites of the Bible, just know we hate you more. Scripture even says that. Do I not hate thee? Hold on. This is Psalms 139 and 21. It says, do not I hate them?
White people.
Hold on one second. It says, do not I hate them, O Lord Yahweh, that hate thee? Because ultimately, they hate the children of Israel because the children of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, are a reflection of and a descendant, okay, direct descendant of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Okay? As scripture says, King David says, they hate me without a cause. But there is a cause. The cause is we are a special people. The cause is that they are nothing. The cause is that prophecy is being fulfilled. The cause is that this kingdom is about to be destroyed. And they can feel it. They can, that's the slippery places, you know? When you're trying to hold on to something so tight and it's just slipping out of your hands, okay? And then you're losing power. You're losing control. You know, you're still murdering Jakes in the streets, right? But now what you've seen is you've seen Jake rise above that base level of behavior that's promoted through these pagan holidays, through these food, through the frequency and vibration, okay, of this music, which is a enchantment. Jake is rising above that and finding joy and peace in destruction, okay, in oppression. And that's something that cannot be tampered with or infiltrated. And that's another reason why Esau is trying to promote this charagma, man. Okay? Because he knows that as long as Jake has a connection with Yahweh Shemi Shai, there is peace. Okay? And that peace cannot be harmed because now we have faith in Yahweh Shemi Shai versus in any of these sorcery, enchanted traps and snares of the flesh in which Esau is promoting. Okay? 139 and 21, Psalms 139, 21. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? And am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. Okay? So just to prove once again that Yahweh Shemi Shai has always provided for his people. And I'm going to grab that real quick. This is, brother was calling me, Salaki brothers. This is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. It says, for thou art a holy people unto the Lord Yahweh thy power. The Lord Yahweh hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And you Edomites are not special. Okay? You all are the drop that falleth from a bucket. Okay? And you're now seeing how insignificant you are in accordance with prophecy. So much so that Yahweh Shemi Shai is going to make you that final example of never coming up against him, hating him or his people, the apple of his eye. Okay? So let's play this real quick and Lord will this will be edifying.
Hate black people is because we cannot tolerate black joy. We cannot tolerate black intelligence. We cannot tolerate black beauty. We cannot tolerate black confidence. We cannot tolerate black camaraderie. We cannot tolerate anything that frees a black person. We don't like black people to be educated. We don't like them to be successful. We don't want black judges. We don't want anything for black people that doesn't directly affect and entertain us. The reasons white people hate black people is because we cannot tolerate black joy. We can.
And part of that is, as what I had alluded to earlier, hey, we're a special people. And you're not. Okay? This is Jeremiah 10 and 16. It says, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things. And Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. So we're not like the rest of you other heathen nations, man. You're supposed to hate us. Okay? And the reason why you hate us is because Yahweh Shemi Yahushua has chosen us, or called Salakia, chosen his people, okay, Israelites. But even within that, okay, many are called, but few are chosen to be the elect, the Israel of Yahweh. Okay? So these are the things that these damn Edomites are been out of shape about, and have been, and will be. And I'm excited about it. This is a booster. Because there were times back in the day where Edomites would have their own communities, and they would talk about Jake in the backyards and the basements and things of that sort. Now they're out and about saying the things in which they said behind closed doors, and they have to say it because they know it's in their heart. They can't hide it anymore. They see that their quote unquote country, okay, is circling the drain. And they also see the joy. They see the joy that is coming upon so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Native Americans. And it's not in their control. You see, that is what their objective has always been, which is Esau wants to be a god towards Israelites when we already have our power. So anytime we reject them, they take it personally because they really think in their heart that they are our power. Okay? Lamentations chapter 4 and 22. And this is what's about to happen. Okay? It says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. And that's what's happening. The iniquity, the sins that have reached up to heaven, the things in which you've done to so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the fact that you try to sweep it under the rug, that you try to blur it out of history, that is ultimate pride. To think that you were going to do these things as Cain killed Abel and act as if none of those things happened. And Yahweh Shemi Shai is going to pay you back for every iniquity in which you've done. So you better tell the truth about how you really feel about so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because it's going to be your last time or last opportunity to say it. Next is fetters of iron. Okay? Hardcore chattel slavery. Right? Says the punishment of the, back in Lamentations 4:22, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So just like you claimed you discovered America, Yahweh Shemi Yahushua is going to discover everything that you tried to hide. Okay? Because as scripture says, man's goings are of the Lord. So he already knows. All he has to do is have a quick counsel with Satan. Be like, hey, what these damn Edomites been up to? And the report is now going to be produced. Okay? Better than ChatGPT, AI, Claude, the whole nine. See, Esau's whole artificial world is about to be short-circuited through the spirit of Yahweh Shemi Yahushua. And we're rejoicing at that. And that's the reason why they don't want to see it. They want to see you shoot a basketball. They want to see you score a touchdown. They want to be entertained. All of that's coming to an end. No more entertainment. Okay? No more, what is it called? Minstrel shows. Okay? Because that's essentially what it is. Okay? Now you're seeing those dry bones living, standing on their feet, coming together. Okay? And that's a threat. Anytime back in the day when you had a so-called
tolerate.
When you had a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, specifically so-called Negroes, we were not, it was against the law to read, and it was against the law for more than two men to be having conversation together. So how much more so now, okay, when these dry bones are living, standing on our feet on the highways and byways all across the globe. Okay? telling our people their transgressions, and telling these other heathen nations their punishments. These Edomites are going to start coming out in droves. And it has less to do with us as individuals and more to do with us as a nation rising, because that's what the one more quick precept and then we'll wrap up. This is Psalms 83, because this has been a mission, man. Okay, this ain't just a new scenario of these Edomites. They were raised this way, right along with the rest of these other heathen nations. Psalms 83, it says, verse 2, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee, once again, hate thee, have lifted up their head, pride. They have taken crafty counsel, once again, amongst each other, but now they're doing the counsel through the internet, okay? They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. See, the unity, the nation, the family, the order, the worship, the adornment of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Those are the things that we were stripped from. Our heritage, our identity, okay, our power. Now, what these Edomites are starting to see is that we're no longer cleaving. Oh, not that we were, but the ideas of Babylon or Egypt, okay, are no longer a primary driver for specifically Israelite men. Dominantly the elect. So they see that power slipping. So it says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. Because when you are a nation, you have sovereignty. You're no longer amalgamating or assimilating, okay, to an idea or a thought that is against the Holy Scriptures, which ultimately is witchcraft, okay? They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So that name has a power. That name has several powers, one being Yahweh, the primary power, Yahushua being another primary power as well, to cut them off from being a nation. It says that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So, and then it goes into the list of those other nations that have done those things. So you Edomites should be butthurt. And you're going to be, until those fetters of iron are put on you. And then you're going to be more butthurt. And that's why we're rejoicing. That's why you see Jake not concerned as much with you Edomites. There's a changing of the guard that's happening. Masculinity is rising. Okay, patriotism, no, Salakia, patriarch ideals are now being flooded in the earth again. Okay, meaning men. That's why it says, show yourself men. Okay. Real quick, this is this is Psalm Salakia. This is Isaiah chapter 46. Wow, man, that's a spirit. I'm gonna start at verse 8. It says, remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. The point being here is remember this and show yourselves men. That's what's happening. The spirit of manhood, of masculinity, of being a man, a righteous man of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is coming in the earth. And these women,
Black intelligence.
these women that have
And the reason.
lived off of the labor of men, specifically so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they are now seeing they are about to be put back in their place. No more women's lib, no more birth control, no more abortions. All those luxuries and delicacies in which Edomites, these so-called white people, have provided are about to be snatched. You think it was bad when Esau took away EBT and food stamps? Wait till Yahweh Shemi Awashai take back all of these luxuries that Esau has provided. Okay? Women are now going to be back in their rightful state. Men are going to be back in their rightful state. There's going to be order back in the earth. It's going to be righteousness back in the earth. And those that are wicked hate it because they know that that spirit lies within the children of Israel, specifically the elect of righteousness. So that light, okay, which ultimately is the truth of Yahweh Shemi Awashai, that's what's in the hopeful elect, they don't like to see it. Because that light reminds them that they are creating darkness. And light always casts out darkness. And that's exactly what's about to happen here in Babylon, aka America. Isaiah 46:9. Remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh. For there is none else. I am Yahweh, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. So that's what's happening. So I'm going to play the rest of this video. Lord will, it was edifying for the elect.
White people hate black people is because we cannot tolerate black joy. We cannot tolerate black intelligence. We cannot tolerate black beauty. We cannot tolerate black confidence. We cannot tolerate black camaraderie. We cannot tolerate anything that frees a black person. We don't like black people to be educated. We don't like them to be successful. We don't want black judges. We don't want anything for black people that doesn't directly affect and entertain us. The reasons